Ups, downs, changes, turnarounds, do's, don'ts, needs, and wants. Yeah, we're going to talk about it all right here on the throne. Let's go.
So let's get into it, y'all. Prison.
What is that?
Jail.
Okay.
Being incarcerated. Coming to terms with what you did, what you didn't do, what's happening, what's going on, how did I get here? I got this to do. All of these emotions that we encounter when we're dealing with our life being on the line, but we're not standing in front of a gun. How about that?
Ooh.
Oh,
That's a cold way you put that.
Yeah, it was.
There,
man,
you know
fighting for your life, but ain't no gun pointed at your head. It's quite the mental battle. So I want to jump in with the first question.
Wow.
Get your heart and your mind right.
You fucked me up with that because you know what I'm saying? You made me think about that moment, man, and that moment in space that I was in when all those things are going around in my head and I could not identify it at that time. I could not identify that shit at that time, but I'm hearing you speak it right now and it related to everything at that moment in time when I'm cracked, I'm busted, I'm in a holding tank. I already know what I done in my past. I know what I'm facing. That's a fucked up feeling to be in because there's so much there and you cannot sort that shit out, man.
You can't sort it out. So and that's right along the lines of the first question.
Good,
and I'm going to ask this question to all four of you, and I would like you to give the deepest but most concise answer that you can give. What were your thoughts and feelings when you first received your sentence? And what did you feel when entering the justice system or the correctional facility? And what was a typical day like for you? If you need me to run that back, I will. Any takers?
Yeah, I'll take that
I
one.
love the person who steps up first to the
So the
podium.
first question, what was it like when I received my sentence? So when I first got my sentence, I was sentenced with 12 other dudes, right? So, and this dude is the judge is going down the line saying this, and he offered them sentences. He going up and down. I'm thinking to myself, well, when he went up to 25, I said, oh man, I'm about to get a life sentence. So he ended up giving my sentence, which was 16, and then a few 10s run concurrently, right? So he gave my sentence, and I was actually relieved because I saw what he was giving everybody else at the time. And like I said, we're standing up one at a time, they dropping them sentences. I'm thinking to myself, man, this is...
Y'all all on the same case?
Yeah, we all on the same case. So we all had a bunch of robbery, they made a bunch of movies about things. So we all had a bunch of robbery cases, right? So they dropping them sentences. I'm thinking to myself, man, this is crazy. But I felt more relief than anything. And what's the second part of the question? And once again, I feel more relief because I didn't get a life sentence. So that's what my relief was.
Because I'm going to say 16 years and that gave you a feeling of relief, my God.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting a life sentence. The amount of cases I had, I didn't get a life sentence. And so I was more thankful the fact that because I could have got a life sentence. And I'm like,
Okay.
we could have all got life sentences.
I can relate
Yeah,
to
so
that.
it was like, okay, there's a chance.
Okay.
to that.
And what did you feel when entering into the justice system or the correctional facility, whichever one you want to talk about? And what was a typical day like for you?
Okay, well, when I pulled up, I was scared to death. I was an 18-year-old kid, you know,
Oh, you was a
and I had
baby.
never been in trouble, right? So I didn't understand, like I had never been to jail, I had never been anywhere. So I didn't understand the justice system, how it worked, what it looked like. I heard the stories, but then, you know, I'm on my own now. So like getting there, it was like, okay, well, I'm walking in, I got to make decisions. Okay, well, and my first decision was, well, I'm going home at some point. I'm not going to die in here, right? So my first decision was, whatever it take to go home, I'm going to do it. So getting in there, I started meeting people. I knew a few people just from, once again, the way the system works. I had a bunch of friends from high school that showed up.
Of course, of course,
You know,
of
the
course.
system is jacked up, so I had friends from high school there, right? So getting in there, and then just trying to figure out what life looked like, understanding, okay, well, I can sit over here, I can't sit over there, learning the rules, because there's a whole bunch of rules. And then the first unit I went to was Beto 1, so it was a gladiator unit, it was rocking and rolling. And you know, my first couple of days, they're having a full ride in the day room, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the wildest shit I've ever seen in my life, and I'm never coming back. My normal day was when I got there. Once I started figuring out, started getting used to people, First thing I did, got my GED. I said, well, I need to get to the GED thing. I need to get in school. Then I'm talking to my friends. Oh, we need to get in school. We got to figure this out because I'm making friends now. And I'm thinking, okay, we got to get this stuff figured out because everybody ride with you when you lose, but everybody want to be a part of your success story, right? So my job was I want to be the success story that all my people can be a part of. Because when you lose and everybody point, there he is again. Or there she is again. But when you're winning, they want to be a part of that story.
Sound like you was scared straight.
No, they broke me.
You got on his feet. You was quick.
It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
That part of that question, what is it? That was on 2 parts?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That was a good explanation, and I hope that y'all can wrap your mind around that because I want y'all to follow this story and see if you can place yourself in this situation and ask yourself these questions that I'm asking because you never know. I'm a church kid. I'm married, raising my kids, going to church every day. I'm doing all the things right. I'm just married to the plug
To the plug.
and got more time than the plug. So you never know. You never know. Ask yourself these questions. Richard.
Yeah, I'm kind of like my brother here. I started getting in trouble about 24. I didn't go to the penitentiary till I was 32. And they came at me with 25 years. So at first, I'm like, 25 years? Man, fuck that. And I was all right on the outside because I've been hustling. I was married, so, I had a little money and stuff like that. But by the time I went to court, it was 5 years. So I was still like, well, that ain't shit.
Fix your mic.
I was like, that ain't shit. Only gonna go down there, do 2, come back. I ain't lost nothing.
You working out that math.
Yeah, I still got wife, home, car, savings, all this shit. So, but when I get down there, it's different. I get hit with, man, we're gonna put you on gang file. Man, ain't no motherfucking gang. Yes, you is. You from Dallas. Everybody from Dallas in the gang. Yeah. And then, motherfucker get to look at, oh, you from Keystone Post. Oh, I know what you is. Yeah, your ass, you over here. And, you get down there, and all of us, we know, once you hit that line building, by the time you get to your wing or dorm or whatever, everybody know where you from.
Yeah.
So by the time I hit the wing, and I just never forget, I don't even think I saw the dude's face. He was like, man, all the niggas from Dallas over there. So, I got my mattress and shit, and yeah, man, Dallas over here. And then when you get to that, it's a Oak Cliff, South Dallas, West Dallas, North Dallas. Now Dallas is broke up, Oh, man, Oak Cliff niggas over here, and Oak Cliff niggas, we roll with the North Dallas niggas. We didn't ride with the West Dallas niggas, and all this. So unless it got to be a black on white or a black on Mexican thing. So, and that was kind of a culture shock. And I found that, people know your story or heard about the people you hung out with or ran with in the streets. And you see a lot of the, oh, nigga, you from here and you went to this school, oh, this, and that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get all that's in the mixture. And my first unit was Smith unit out there in La Mesa, out there in Lubbock. And I got there right after the riot. And the culture shock was the butt naked after the chow hall on chicken and pork chop day. Make sure ain't nobody got no bones and butt naked going to the rickyard while they scanning the ground. Make sure ain't no shanks in there. And at the time, the Mexican mafia out there, it's out there, and TS and all that. TS was trying to take over. Then that new shit that came along, that Tango Blast shit was just starting. So it was blacks against Mexicans all the time. Yeah. It was, and I remember you always had your back against the wall. This is my first trip now. And, I know how to fight and you know how to get down. But it was always the brothers who you thought was going to get down. Wasn't getting down. It was the older cats. The older cats
solid ones.
you rarely saw, who rarely came out their cell. It was them. When shit went down, you hear the, all that, man. We hear that dog pound and shit and all that old shit. And you be like, where's everybody at? Ain't nothing but, unless it was just a big thing. Then it was always about money, who was bringing the drugs in and oh damn, this little white boy belong to us, and you know, and all,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I know, you know, hey man,
All that shit.
all that shit. So you know, and I guess looking back, I'm glad I was the age I was when I went in at 32. Cause if I'd went in at 20, I probably still it'd have been a different story.
Yeah.
It'd have been a different story.
I heard two things specifically that I've learned retrospectively from my experience. And one of them is that the system, they are storytellers, right? So what they do is they take real facts from our lives. They could prove that you were from Keystone Pope.
Yeah.
They could prove, that you was getting money. They could prove certain things. And they put these things on a timeline.
Yeah.
And then they add their stank on it and they make up this story about your life based off of real facts that they could find in your life. That didn't mean you was doing anything, but they take what the streets is talking about, where you're from, how much money is in your bank, and they build a story, right? That's why when you got to prison, people already knew where you was from, and they putting the 2 on the 10 because you went to school over here, and that may not have any bearing on who you are, right?
Right.
But that is how the system is set up. The second thing that I heard, was, off the heels of that, is that when you got there, there was Dallas over here, this part over here, this place over here. And then when you get to Dallas, then Dallas is split up into neighborhoods. And and what that is a form of systemic oppression. They are teaching us how to be prejudiced within our race. These are things that they are teaching us. And then we out here on the street emulating and regurgitating these behaviors in our communities.
Absolutely.
And having conversations on our podcast about what's wrong with us and why we can't whoop-de-whoop and blah, blah, blah. But here it is in black and white. God damn.
Black
King.
Yeah. Wow, this is these brothers brought on some heat right there. They just they like to open up that memory, since they spoke on the Texas experience. I'm gonna take it back to the Cali, man. I'm gonna take it to the West Coast, man, and going to prison down there because it's a whole different story, but it's the same thing. I'm standing in there when I guess my first sentence, man. You know what I'm saying, that I ever got. You know what I'm saying, as far as coming to prison, because you spend a lot of time in county in LA, man. In LA, you can go to county like 6-7 times. Before I went to prison, I had about 2 robberies and 14 burglaries. You know what I'm saying? And then once I knew I was going to prison, I wasn't relieved when I got that particular sentence. But I can relate because my last sentence I got, it was an L in front of me and I ended up getting 15. So that was a relief.
Yeah.
I get that. I understand that. So, but my first time going in, it wasn't a relief, but you know what I'm saying? I was taking it like a soldier because I'm highly affiliated, but still in all, you know what I'm saying? Deep down inside, that shit was cutting me, man, because you know what I'm saying? I know I'm finna step on his yard. I done heard the stories, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the gutter. I know. The homies coming out telling us the story. We know it's a huge rotation.
Yeah.
It's a huge rotation, you know what I'm saying? So I know the stories and I know what to expect. And then in them holding tanks in the county, you know what I'm saying? The homies gonna give you the game. They're gonna let you know how to present yourself, how you step on the yard, what to do, or whatever the case may be, and what key elements. Before I hit prison the first time, I had a list of names. I had a list of names of who to connect with. You know what I'm saying? Because of my affiliation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if I was a Crip, you know what I'm saying, it would have been the same thing. If I was a BGF, it would have been the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna lace the brothers up before they hit that yard, man. Because Cali, once you hit the yard, even though once I got there and everything like that, you know what I'm saying, being highly affiliated, when I hit the yard, I'm already gonna know where the blood's at. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going over there, and they already know I'm coming. Because it's organized like that, and they lace you up, man. You know what I'm saying? They give you a knife, give you a care package. You know what I'm saying? Got your couple of caps of weed in there, a couple of cans of Bugler, some hygiene shit. You know what I'm saying? And they show you how to, you know what I'm saying, bury your strap and everything like that. And then the rules of the yard. You don't move ain't nobody moving one. Nobody moves solo bolo. You know what I'm saying? If we go to if you need to use the restroom. You just say, hey, man, I need to use restroom, homie. And then the homie's going to fall in with you. About 10, 15 going to fall with you, roll with you. it is separated. You know what I'm saying? You got the Bloods over here, and then you know what I'm saying. You got the Crips over there, the white boys over there, and there's the Southern essays over there. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't on those particular yards, you couldn't have no North End Mexicans on there because you know what I'm saying. It ain't gonna it'll stay locked down. But anyway. But yeah, I can relate to that also when he said how they broke up Dallas like that when he went in there. And I've seen that here in Texas, but in LA, they do the same thing as far as hoods, the Bloods in the hoods and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not separate. You have to stay in one area like this. You know what I'm saying? But you can, you know, y'all, the rules over there playing dominoes and doing the spread.
Everybody got their area
whatever
of
the
the
case may be,
schoolyard.
you know, right?
Yeah.
The bishops are over here, yada, yada, yada. So it is like that, you know what I'm saying? And it comes now naturally, you know what I'm saying, us because of this shit, this magic shit that they done put on us.
Y'all, I'm laughing, but
Real
god dang it if
talk,
that ain't
man.
real.
You know?
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's like that.
But it
really
was
is.
the real deal, man. You know what I'm saying? It was the real deal. You know, when you go to shower, we go in boots and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to shower by yourself. You go to shower by 6, 7 homies. You know, the whole rules, man, and it's structured. The prison down there is structured. You up under the guns. You know what I'm saying? You up under the guns at all times.
I can't relate.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't relate. It's a little different. It's a little different, I believe, for women, because we're not so deep into the gang affiliation and things like that. But there is still the separation. There's still the Mexicans over here, and they cooking together, eating together. The blacks is over here, but you know, niggas, we can't never. So it's 19 different sects of niggas and one of Mexicans, because niggas can't never get their shit together. You know, it's like we are a mess, but we've had a number done on us, and these types of structures are everywhere. They're in corporate America. They're in the schools. Like this is a revolving door. This type of mindset. And in my experience in prison, I mean, I can relate to everything that you guys are talking about, even if my experience was different. You know, I wasn't in the streets. You know, I wasn't gang affiliate. My husband wasn't gang affiliate. He was just getting money. You know what I'm saying? I'm a church kid. I'm raising my children. I'm working a job. I'm doing my thing, trying to grow up. You know, but I still went to prison and I still had that experience and I still had to retrain myself. I still had to go into survival mode. I still reclused and stayed to myself. You know, I didn't nobody know about me or hear about me when I was on my way, but there were people that I knew when I got there from my hometown, but they wasn't the ones that gave me the soap and the toothpaste and shit. It was people that I didn't know, you know, that looked out for me. So those are things that stick in my mind, you know. So the experience has been different for all of us. Yes. But even in the differences, it's still the same. You still have your freedom taken from you and ain't shit you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, you're still removed from your family. You still can't leave. You still got to follow these rules, whether they make sense to you or not. Now you're in hyper protective mode. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to watch your back at all times. I had one of my husband's cousins got out of prison and came by our house, and he stood at the door with his back to the door the entire time he was at our house. It was just me, my husband, and our kids. Sit your ass down, nigga.